But then like Moses saw like
The back of God.
the back of God.
God's booty.
You can't say that.
I'm sorry.
I love it.
He
though.
likes it. I think God laughs at that stuff. I'm sorry if that's disrespectful, Lord. But I think you had a giggle at it, and I'm going to leave it in.
I love it.
Welcome back to Stuff That Like / Enjoy, at least at this point in time. My name is Caleb.
And I'm Christina.
We're the Castanedas, and today I want to ask Christina, what's something you like / enjoy?
Okay. Something that I like / enjoy, which I think it's something you enjoy too. So I'm excited to hear your commentary on this.
Yeah, because I don't know what this is yet.
Yeah. Well, so my question this week is, are zoos ethical?
Oh, no.
So something that I like / enjoy is zoos.
Okay.
But it's more so going to be about, rather than talking you through what a zoo is, which is pretty much where animals are held in captivity for us to look at.
Yeah.
I'm going to talk about what the ethics of zoos are.
Oh, no. Okay.
Why do you sound so displeased?
I've kept a very service level idea of what zoos are.
Oh, well,
on
good. This
purpose.
is going to be a surface level look at zoos ethics. So
Okay.
I'm not going to dig into
I've
anything.
done that on purpose, though, because I know if I dive deep, then I won't want to go to the zoo anymore.
Okay. I don't think this will change your opinion.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. So why I thought of this topic was recently we went to the zoo in Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Yes.
That was last weekend.
That was a sad zoo.
It was one of the sadder.
One of the sadder zoos.
And as we were leaving, I said to you, like, I should do an episode on zoos. And I was thinking, maybe I should do it more on the ethics of zoos because we saw some sad animals.
We did.
Which is what
Some little sad boys.
So within this, I'm also going to include aquariums as well.
Okay.
Because it's kind of the same concept. You know, it's fish in a tank or dolphins, kind of like a zoo. So some thoughts on aquariums. So you can keep those fish and whales in mind.
Yes.
As well.
Okay. Sounds good.
So as I mentioned before, we both like zoos, and we have been to quite a few zoos and aquariums in our relationship.
Probably like 7 or 8.
Yeah, which is kind of fun. So I'm going to briefly share what I've looked up and kind of compiled as like the top pros of zoos, like the benefits of them. And I want to ask you, like, if you think each of those pros are valid or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
I like that.
Yeah. So the first pro that came up is conservation. So many zoos have breeding programs for endangered species, and some have even successfully reintroduced animals back into the wild after having them in the zoo and breeding them. And some of these animals were considered like extinct in nature or critically endangered.
Yeah.
And now there's maybe a couple hundred of them. These include, but are not limited to, I just liked the names, the Wyoming toad, the Partula snail, the Hawaiian goose, and the black-footed ferret.
No way. The black-footed ferret.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was extinct almost in nature, and now there's a couple hundred somewhere. And the Wyoming toad, they're now living in one lake in Wyoming.
The Wyoming toad. Yeah.
Just one lake.
Very cool.
But they got reintroduced to that lake, and they're doing great.
They're thriving.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So do you think that is valid?
A valid pro?
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Because naturally, we're going to protect those endangered species way better than they would be in the wild. Otherwise, they wouldn't be endangered.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
Do you think it's important? This is probably a real tangent, but do you think it's important to keep animals from becoming extinct?
It's a really tough thing. I actually thought about this 2 days ago.
Oh,
For like a
interesting.
good hour. I don't know why.
I love it. You should do an episode on it.
Maybe, yeah.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of those things. It's like, if I get too deep, maybe I'll care too much, and then I'll be sad.
Become an animal activist.
Exactly. They'd be throwing blood everywhere, all of our fur coats and stuff.
Oh, yeah. All those fur coats we have.
All those black-footed ferret coats we have.
With the Wyoming toad.
Yeah,
fur.
Wyoming tone like hats. So, what was your question? One more time?
Do you think that it's important that we keep animals from going extinct?
You know, it's tough to say. I don't think there's a right or wrong answer because some of them are really necessary for like nature's food chain to survive.
Ecosystem, yeah.
The ecosystem to thrive. Ecosystem. This German accent. Oh, ecosystem. Anyways, I think that some are really necessary, but then some I think just died out because they were hunted to extinction. And that was kind of like where they were supposed to end. So I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer there. I really don't.
Cool. Valid. All right. Another pro for zoos is research. Zoos provide opportunities for close-up study of animal behaviors, seeing their needs, how they reproduce, even like the developments for veterinary care, which can then carry on to domesticated animals and also keeping them, more of them alive in nature. Do you think that's a valid pro?
Yeah. I think that's valid.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. Education and awareness. So this is based on the concept that if people are aware of the needs of animals and see that they are like alive before you, they might be more likely to, the humans seeing them might be more likely to be vegan or not buy products made of animals and maybe give more of their money to taking care of animals. Do you think that's a valid reason to have a zoo? Not that those aren't valid things, but.
No.
Okay.
Because it hasn't worked. Most of the world, well, I'll contain it to America. Most of America has probably been to a zoo.
Yeah.
Or at least 70-75%.
Yeah, everybody in fourth grade probably went to a zoo field trip. Yeah.
And I can almost guarantee, without looking up statistics, most of America still eats meat. So I don't think that is
And still
bringing any
buys
kind of
products
awareness.
made of animals.
Yes, exactly. So I don't think that's necessarily a pro.
Yeah, I agree with you. And I didn't look into the details of this, but I do believe the majority of zoos are funded by really big donors or like philanthropists who already like animals or are tax dollars and grants. Yeah. And so I'm not aware of most of the funding for animals conservation coming from individuals.
Tulsa needs some more philanthropists. They really do.
No, Topeka Zoo.
Topeka really does. Oh my God.
That should be shuttered.
They need a Zuckerberg down there to save that zoo.
I want us later on tell some zoo stories.
Yeah, cool.
The fourth pro of zoos potentially is that zoos take in injured or orphaned animals that couldn't be released into the wild and wouldn't survive in the wild.
Again, that's a middle ground for me. I mean, some animals I really want to survive because they're cute or I think they're super interesting. But was it just their time to go, or are they an integral part of the ecosystem?
Right.
So I think, I don't know if there's a right or wrong answer there.
Yeah. And I could see zoos being, if they were only for injured or orphaned animals, that'd be cool. But the idea of maybe breeding animals in zoos just to have them is a little different.
Yeah.
So I think most zoos the purpose isn't just to take in injured animals.
Yeah.
As opposed to like an animal like sanctuary or rescue center.
Which I'm a huge fan of.
Yes.
I
very
love
different than
sanctuaries.
Zoos, in my
Yes.
mind. Yeah.
Very different.
Yeah. Okay. The fifth one was economy and tourism. That zoos are money making for the local city and can help promote money being given to animal conservation.
Huge pro.
Totally.
Huge pro. Good for the city. Good for the zoo. Better habitats for other zoo animals. Like better conditions, better food. I think that's huge.
Yep.
Super big pro.
Totally.
Yeah.
I agree. Okay. So now for some cons.
You didn't tell me there'd be cons.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. So we're talking about the ethics of zoos. We got to do like some ethics, ethically good or maybe negative.
I agree. You're awesome. I love that you put this together. It's so fun.
So the number one con that people come up with is for the sake of the animals. The animals' well-being, the con being that even the best zoos cannot fully replicate natural habitats.
Man, that's so tough.
Zoos have been found to lead to chronic stress among animals and behaviors like pacing or rocking back and forth. And some types of animals even have shortened life expectancies. If you get into the idea of aquariums, like with orcas or dolphins, they're created to like traverse the ocean and we put them in like a swimming pool.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's such a tangled web here though, because I have a theory that we shouldn't keep zoo animals above a certain intelligence level in the zoo or animals. Sorry. So
what did you say?
Zoo animals.
Okay.
They're obviously in the zoo if they're zoo animals, but like, if an animal is able, like an animal is as smart as a dolphin, and you're keeping it in a zoo, I don't think that's okay.
Right.
Or like, I would say some big cats. I'm really not a big fan of keeping big cats in zoos. I think that's really brutal.
Or a bear.
Elephants. Yes, a bear. Oh my God, we saw the saddest bear in Tulsa. It was, oh my God. Anyways, like animals above a certain intelligence level can't be kept in zoos. But some can. Like I saw, saw the Omaha Zoo with this amazing elephant exhibit.
Yes.
Like humongous.
It's very big, yeah.
Elephant exhibit. Elephants are super smart, but I would be totally fine leaving them in that exhibit because it was so nice, so tailored to their lifestyle.
They got food brought to them.
Oh,
They're living
man.
a good life.
It was massive.
Yeah.
It was massive. And so I think it depends on, I only agree with keeping animals under a certain intelligence level in zoos. And I only agree with keeping animals in zoos if they have the correct habitat to keep that animal in that is close enough to their natural habitat.
Okay, yeah. So not just like a tank. They're like, oh, we're going to stick this animal in there, but it's like curated to it specifically. And,
yes,
yeah.
Absolutely. And again, like, I don't know the intelligence level that I'm talking about here, but there's clearly a difference between a bird and a dolphin.
Yeah, and even different types of birds, like a duck or an eagle.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Which they might be equally intelligent. I just think an eagle's smarter than a duck. I don't know that.
I think an eagle is more intelligent because it has to hunt.
Right.
Like it has to like prey on other birds. Whereas a duck is just there for survival.
Right.
You know, smaller bird. I think that requires less intelligence.
I think it's valid.
That's my whole jumble of an answer to give you.
I like it. I think of we were at the Tulsa Zoo and they had red pandas, which if you're not familiar with a red panda, they're like the size of like a fox. Yeah. They're not like a panda.
Yeah, it's not huge.
And those red pandas were living their best life.
Oh my God.
They had a great exhibit. They sleep most of the time. They had food brought out to them. They were having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm like, that seems okay to me.
Totally.
An actual panda bear? Maybe not.
And I get that people like get upset about this, but hey, there are, I know I have like related people that are related to me that have animals that don't take care of them well in the least, like dogs and cats that don't have the proper environment to let them live their quote unquote best lives. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about? And so let's figure that out first. You know what I'm talking about? Like let's not worry about what the zoo is doing.
Yeah, we have no problem with people buying 3 dogs and sticking them, you know.
Or like 12 cats in the same house. Are we insane? So let's figure that out first and then we can complain about zoos. That's my thing.
I like that rant.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, another con is while breeding programs are good and have been successful, they generally produce animals that can't be released into nature. So it's like maybe you saved the, black horned rhino, but that rhino can't live in nature. Therefore, you're breeding animals that can't, be released. So success stories like the Wyoming toad are very rare.
Mm-hmm. It is interesting. It's tough to say because you could breed something that's really docile and cool, but really big and strong like a rhinoceros. And then you have a pet rhinoceros.
Right.
And it's nice to everybody and now it's like domesticated. So that's cool.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you could never let that in the wild because it would die immediately. It could be killed by geese or some mildly ferocious
really domesticated
animal.
Rhino being attacked by a goose.
They'd wait him out. Just wait till he died. But yeah, so it's just like, I don't know. I feel like there's no yes or no answer to this question. Like you should or shouldn't. It's just because they've also domesticated foxes and they've bred them into domestication, which I think is cute and adorable. And I would love to have a fox. But at the same time, you can never release that cute little fox into the wild. And so in modern times, I don't think it's necessarily wrong to keep an animal alive that can't survive on its own if there is a desire for the public to from the public to actually own that animal and take care of it.
Right.
But as soon as that desire and that need in their hearts is gone, it's like, okay, I don't know how much longer we can agree to keep this thing alive because we're not doing it any favors.
Right. And then breeding it so it produces more that's in captivity.
Yeah.
Which then gets into another con, which is more, I don't know, tree huggery, but the fundamental question of the ethics of captivity. Is it morally acceptable to deprive a sentient, intelligent animal of the liberty of freedom for human benefit?
I need you to answer this first.
I think there's a range of depriving a animal of liberty for your benefit. Like a horse on a farm, I think that's great. And that horse probably is living a happier life than, running through the woods and trying to find hay in the winter. But yeah, I think it's all a variation of what that exhibit in the space is for the animal. And I don't know. I don't get too much in the ethics. I don't want people to treat animals poorly by any means, but like animals are animals. And I don't know, there are varying levels of intelligence and needs and some animals are really happy to be in a zoo and they're living their best life, and others are pacing back and forth and miserable. So
yeah. I wish there was some kind of like test that you could make them take. Like if they could memorize these 3 hand signals from a human that mean feed, water, whatever, then they could be let into the wild because they're too smart to be in captivity. But it's just such a gray area. I feel like it's kind of a trap to answer it fully, like one way or the other.
I love it. Okay, one more con is, I guess there's 2. One is that cute exhibits, zoos, like the red panda or like the cute little monkeys, can increase desires for people to own exotic pets or view them as for their own personal entertainment, which then has led to people buying their own little monkeys who then they don't take care of well. So that can be a con, getting you close enough to see how cute that animal is and then you buying it.
This is such a weird con. I don't think it's real because it's the same as being like, that woman should not dress so provocatively because they're causing me to lust and I might act out. It's like, get some self-control.
If you're not responsible enough to take care of the little monkey you bought, that's your own problem.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Yeah. It's like, do not blame other people for your poor decisions. So I don't think that's a real thing, that real con.
Yeah. I guess it could be if you get into you don't believe that animals should ever be captive. It's against the animal. If you're getting to animal rights, I could see that.
Totally.
And then the last one is the cost of running zoos. Tons of specifically taxpayer money and government grants go to maintaining and funding zoos, as well as the expertise of zookeepers and those who work there that could instead fund not only like helpful things for humans in the city, but also anti-poaching efforts or conservation of those animals in their natural habitats.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that's the most valid con.
That is very valid.
Yeah.
Like I would almost rather a better police force than a zoo. You know what I'm talking about? But since we're already
like
here,
sidewalks.
Yeah. I would love new sidewalks.
Or just sidewalks in general.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or gutters.
You know what we should do?
What?
Now I'm thinking about this. We should shut down zoos, put all the money towards infrastructure for the public, and then open up as many animal sanctuaries as we can.
Nice.
And help fund those instead. Because I think people would be more ready to give money to those places, and we would have better roads and sidewalks.
I like it.
Solved it.
There we go. So,
also,
yes.
Until we do that, there needs to be someone at each exhibit at a zoo telling little kids to shut up and stop touching the glass.
And banking on, or their parents.
And the parents are worse sometimes.
It's true.
They're like inviting the kid up, like touch the glass, like poke the glass, look at the bear. And it's like, you need to leave the zoo.
Alone.
Yeah. You need to be expelled from this place. This is why animals go crazy, is because overstimulation, is that the word? Yeah. Of their environment.
Yeah.
And so if we were just to keep 5 feet from the fence, come up and look at the animal, keep your baby's mouth shut, I think these animals would be a lot happier where they are.
Yeah.
So until we get my other request. Let's do this first request for me.
I love it. So take care of your kids. Don't let them bang on the glass, and better roads instead of zoos.
That's what I'm talking about.
I like it.
Come and walk in my perfect city.
All right. Well, I wanted to end this section with some anecdotes from our times at zoos.
Yeah.
And also I wanted to touch on something just slightly that you mentioned before was animal sanctuaries, which I'm a big fan of animal sanctuaries. So animal sanctuaries are places that harbor animals who were often illegally owned or abandoned or confiscated for being mistreated, and like from circuses or animal attractions. And their goal isn't breeding, but pretty much to let these animals live out the rest of their life in a pretty large outdoor environment. We went to one in Colorado. It's called the Wild Animal Sanctuary. And the animals from Tiger King, the TV show Tiger King, as well as the real life Tiger King, all of his tigers are there.
So cool.
And it was really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also local, like there's a small animal sanctuary here in KC where it has like birds that had broken wings and things like that.
Yeah.
Big fan.
Huge fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is there a question to that? Or is
No,
it
I just was like making a comment. The animal sanctuaries are very different.
Man.
I think are great in a way
Yeah.
to still interact with animals often that could live well in the U.S. as opposed to maybe a jungle. But even like the Kansas City Zoo, they have a turtle named Tortellini, and it got hit by a boat. And so part of its shell is broken, so it can't float right.
Yeah.
And it would be killed in the wild, but it gets to live out a good life floating upside down pretty much.
Yeah. And
You
it
know?
likes it. Yeah. It's healthy. I don't know how they know it likes it, but the sign said it
But
likes
it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not in distress.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love those places, man. Those are some of my favorite places to go because not only are we paying to see animals that are being helped, all that money goes into helping those animals
Love
too,
it.
which is so fun. And I don't know, it just makes you feel good about yourself. Going to some zoos can make me feel bad about myself. I'm just like, oh God, I paid $5 to get in here, and that bat is stapled to the wall and
Yes.
dead.
Would you like to tell about the Topeka Zoo?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
Topeka Zoo. I cannot recommend not going there enough. It is just a place that should be demolished, and let's put in a park for kids. You know, something that people will actually go to and not feel terrible about.
Yeah.
But yeah, you went there. Half the exhibits were closed. It was cold when we were there, but almost every exhibit that was closed was under some kind of construction.
Yes.
Or the animal wasn't even there.
Yeah.
Like
it wasn't even like, oh, it's off exhibit.
Yeah, it
It's
was
like
just
there
no
was nothing
name.
for the exhibit.
Yeah. And so we went to see the bat part of and I usually love the bat enclosures in zoos. Went to see the bat enclosure, and we looked inside this square. It's supposed
very
to be like
small.
it's supposed to be like an I Spy adventure thing, learning a little bit with each hole you looked through into
Right.
this
It was like
dark
the
environment.
outside was blocked out, and then you could look in there. Yeah.
Yeah. And we looked inside, and they had taken a taxidermied bat.
Not even taxidermied. I think it just
think it was
died.
just dead?
Yes. There was several.
They had pinned it to the wall.
Yeah.
And
They
had
literally
like
took a
little
orange push pin and push pinned them to the wall.
to the wall, and they had like a little cutout piece of copy paper below telling you a little bit about it, and the paper wasn't even nice. I was like, you can't even make the paper nice, Topeka? What are we doing here? You stapled a bat to the wall.
Yeah.
And at that point, it just became hilarious.
Yeah.
Like every exhibit we went to, we were like, this feels terrible, so we have
Yes.
to laugh about this.
Yeah.
Otherwise, we're going to start crying.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it was a miserable experience.
Yes. There should be no dead animals at a zoo.
Oh my God.
Especially not push pinned to the wall.
To the wall, Topeka. To the wall. So that was probably the worst zoo that we've ever been to.
Yeah. What are some of the best zoos or aquariums we've been to?
Oh man, Omaha, easy.
The Omaha Zoo, I think it's
Huge.
probably the best in the U.S. I
Yes.
think it's maybe the world.
Oh my God, if nobody listening to this has been there, please go.
It's worth the
amazing.
trip. Yeah.
You'll spend like the first 3 hours within the first, I don't know, 100 yards of the place, and it's huge. And
Yeah.
you'll just spend the first 3 hours looking through like 3 giant in dome enclosures that they have at different species, and everything's really clean and taken care of, and everybody there's happy, and the people who are working there are in a good mood. And it just seems like a really healthy environment. So I highly recommend that one too. What about you?
Omaha Zoo is amazing. Like they have a jungle exhibit, and the animals are in this massive jungle, and they're not behind bars or screens and stuff. Like you almost feel like that could come and get me. But it's really cool. Maui has an amazing aquarium.
Oh yeah.
It's all animals and fish and sea life that are native to Maui, and they literally take water from the ocean. So all the animals are really happy, and they can be released into the wild, which is cool. The KC Zoo, Kansas City Zoo, is not bad. There's nothing, compared to the Omaha Zoo, but it also costs a fraction of the price. Yes. Omaha Zoo is like $35.
Yeah.
Whereas the Kansas City Zoo, we get to go free as residents.
Yeah.
St. Louis Zoo.
St. Louis is fun.
Pretty fun. It's free as well. But yeah, I probably wouldn't recommend the Topeka Zoo.
My God.
Or the Tulsa one.
No, unfortunately. Don't go to those zoos.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a great topic, babe. Thanks for doing that.
So to sum it up, our zoo's ethical. And you don't have to answer that.
Our zoo's ethical. Yes, because I don't think animals have souls. But
as long as they're treated right, a zoo could be ethical.
Yes, as long as it's not abusive, which I don't think there are zoos out there that are abusive anymore because of all the activism that's happening.
Yeah.
So I would say zoos are ethical in my own opinion. Yes.
All right. Love it.
Making a hard stance there.
Do it.
Come at me, QAnon.
I think it's more a PETA.
I know. That's the whole joke. Okay. Yeah. There you go.
All right. That's my topic.
Awesome. All right, guys. So we have been doing this podcast for what? Over a year now? Mm-hmm. Over a year now. Crazy. And we love hearing from our listeners. We just want to tell you guys we are on Instagram. You can reach us through email. We're working on a website. Through email, you can hit us up at stuffthatwelikePodcast@gmail.com. We're on Instagram and socials at Stuff That We Like Podcast. And we love to hear from you guys. Yeah. We really genuinely do. We just had a listener's mailbag the other day from people who listen to this place. And it's just meant so much from the bottom of our hearts that you guys have taken the time to listen to our babblings, our thoughts, our hard opinions.
Amateur opinions.
And have come on this journey with us. So if you want to get in touch with us to tell us a topic that you'd like us to discuss or do
question
for one of these,
for a future listener.
For a future mailbag, please do that. Mm-hmm. That's stuffthatwelike@gmail.com, stuffthatwelike@gmail.com. And we'll see you in the inbox, hopefully.
Sounds good. All right. On this next segment, we are going to hop back into our slow crawl through the Book of Enoch. I was like, this is our 9th episode of the Book of Enoch. And initially we had plotted out to do the entire book
in 10 episodes?
In 9 episodes. And we are finishing up the chapter 64 today. But that's all right. We're glad that you have enjoyed us. So we're going to be, by the end of the year, hopefully finishing up the Book of Parables, which is the second section of the Book of Enoch. And then we'll decide if we're going to continue crawling through the remaining segments or hop into maybe some other extra biblical books.
Yeah. And feel free to let us know. If you like this, we'll keep going. If not, we're going to switch it up and then we'll return to Book of Enoch.
Exactly. Yeah. If you're like, no, bring back recommendations or bring back conspiracies or bring back, all that stuff. We like to hear from you and to share what you like as well.
Yeah.
But as for today, we're going to continue on.
So let's jump in. Do you have a little synopsis from the previous episode? Okay.
So in our last Enoch episode, we covered God's judgment or coming judgment on the wicked kings and rulers on a future great day of judgment. The final verse in chapter 63 was, "This is the ordinance and judgment with respect to the mighty and the kings and the exalted and those who rule the earth before the Lord." So it was kind of like all of heaven was like, whoa, it's going down. And God brought judgment on those who attack the righteous. We're now going to hop into chapter 64, which we should have covered last time. It is a 2-verse long chapter, which concludes the judgment story that we finished last week.
That just tells you how how much we were drowning in stuff we had to get done outside of this podcast.
I was like 3 chapters. I didn't even look and see what the next one was.
Didn't even look that it was like 2 verses.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyways.
Yeah. Anyways. So to sum up the end of this whole judgment narrative, Enoch says, and I heard the voice of an angel saying, these are the angels who descended to the earth and revealed what was hidden to the children of men and seduced them into committing sin. So this is a reference to the Watchers, who are kind of from the beginning of the Book of Enoch, chapters 6-ish.
Mm-hmm. So the evil Watchers.
Yes. Yeah. Yep. The fallen Watchers who rebelled against the Lord, tying this book of parables also to the Book of Watchers. So kind of like showing the timeline. And I believe what Enoch's saying here is that like, not only are the wicked of the earth being judged, wicked humans, but the wicked and evil Watchers are going to be judged by the Lord at the same time as well.
Yeah. No, it was a pretty cut and dry chapter. So I don't have much to add.
2 lines of it.
All 2 lines.
Yep.
So in chapter 65, this chapter starts, and it's technically a fragment of the Book of Noah, correct?
Yes. Can I pop in here real quick? And then you can go into it.
Go for it.
So we're going to hop into another fragment of the Book of Noah. And I did some research because I'm like, we had a fragment from the Book of Noah, I think 2 times ago, which seemed oddly inserted into the, the kind of story. Mm-hmm. And I did some research, and it's believed that pretty much the rest of the Book of Parables, which is chapters 65 through 71, was added at a much later date and wasn't included by the original author of Enoch.
Yeah.
So they think that they added these fragments to kind of like, oh, this kind of sounds like the same time or kind of what Enoch's talking about. So I would take kind of the remaining 8 chapters of this book with a bit more of a grain of salt than maybe the interest or spiritual relevance that we found in the previous chapters.
And even the fragment of the Book of Noah that was before this.
Yes.
That was also said to have been added, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Added later.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So just keep that in mind because there's some stuff in these next 2 chapters. I'm like, I don't know if that's quite
biblical.
Yes.
This whole thing's not biblical.
It is not, but this is much, I could be like, this could be right here. Why it was not included.
Starts to get sci-fi.
Exactly.
Sure.
Well, and it doesn't line up with the biblical story of Noah and Enoch anymore. So it was added, they believe it, at a much later date.
Yeah.
Cool. We'll hop on in.
So this chapter starts by describing how Noah sees the earth sunken down and its destruction coming upon it. It says that, quote, he arose from thence and went to the ends of the earth and cried aloud to his grandfather Enoch. And Noah said 3 times with an embittered voice, hear me, hear me, hear me. Which maybe that's where hear ye, hear ye, hear ye comes from. I don't know. I thought that was funny. But he says, hear me, hear me, hear me. And then Enoch speaks back to Noah saying, quote, tell me what it is that is falling out on the earth, that the earth is in such evil plight and shaken, lest perchance I shall perish with it.
You could tell even like, it's like an old English type language.
It is like an old English.
It's like totally even different wording. So pretty much we hop into Noah is seeing that when it says the earth is sunken down, I think that's more referring to like the depravity of the world.
Yeah.
Because this is obviously before the flood, if we're following this, and its destruction is near. So he cries out to Enoch, and I heard it as Noah says to Enoch.
Yes, I'm sorry. I had that wrong. Noah says to Enoch.
Like, tell me like what's going to happen to the earth.
Yeah.
And am I going to die? So some problems here, which is, first of all, if we go along with the biblical genealogy, Enoch died or was taken to be with the Lord when Noah was 20 years old. Mm-hmm. And Noah was 600 years old when the great flood came.
Yeah.
So Enoch's been gone a long time.
Yeah.
So he's obviously talking to dead Grandpa Enoch. And also, God came to Noah and told him, like, build an ark. I'm going to destroy the earth, but I'll preserve you and your family.
Yeah.
But here Noah's like, oh no, what's going to happen? Oh, grandfather Enoch in the sky, come tell me.
Totally. So it already doesn't line up with the narrative.
Yeah.
But Enoch comes to stand by Noah.
He shows up.
And he asks why Noah has cried out to him with a, quote, bitter cry and weeping. Enoch continues to tell Noah that, quote, a command has gone forth from the presence of the Lord concerning those who dwell on the earth, that their ruin is accomplished because they have learnt all the secrets of the angels and all the violence of the Satans and all their powers, the most secret ones, and all the power of those who practice sorcery and the power of witchcraft and the power of those who make molten images for the whole earth, which could be alluding to idols.
Right. Yeah. And so I see why they included the later compilers of this book, this kind of narrative, because Enoch's kind of recapping in this fragment of Noah what happens in the Book of the Watchers, the beginning of the real Book of Enoch, where these fallen angels come to earth and teach mankind what he describes here, the secrets of angels and the violence of the accuser and witchcraft and sorcery, and how metal is produced. And so I think that's kind of what ties it in. Mm-hmm. So that part is, in conjunction with, even in the actual Bible, the Book of Genesis, it talks about men, increasing in knowledge and learning metallurgy. So, yeah. So. Or even that there is, some allusions to alchemy as well.
Yeah, and it does describe here, I left it out, but it does describe smelting, not smelting necessarily, but metalworking in this chapter as well.
Yeah. So there's definitely some connections to the Book of Genesis and the, beginning of the Book of Enoch. So maybe that's why they snuck this in here.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after that, Noah says that Enoch took me by the hand, because when Enoch showed up, he face planted.
Yeah.
Fell on his face.
Yeah.
So Enoch pulls him up and says, I have asked the Lord what's going to happen. And he told me that because there's unrighteousness on the earth, there will be judgment. And I will not withhold this judgment forever. And so it's kind of interesting because, in the Book of Genesis, God tells Noah that.
Yeah.
That judgment is coming. But in this narrative, Enoch came to let Noah know this.
Isn't that weird?
Yeah. But I kind of liked the tie-in to Enoch is saying that God said that I won't withhold my judgment forever, which reminds me of Genesis 6:3, where God is saying, my spirit will not contend with man forever, that he's waiting, he's giving, for judgment, almost this place of repentance. But then Enoch continues in this narrative saying that there's no place they will not repent, because they have seen, what has been hidden. But you, Noah, the Lord knows that you are pure and guiltless, and he will preserve you.
Yeah, preserved amongst those who dwell on earth, and that from him will come a, quote, fountain of the righteous and the holy without number forever. Mm-hmm. So kind of saying he's going to be the new Adam.
Yes. Yeah. Which I was like, does God say anything like this in the Book of Genesis? And it does in two places, which I found it very interesting. I feel like I mainly know the children's church version of the Book of Noah. I mean, of the story of Noah. But in Genesis 6:9, it says Noah was a righteous man, perfect in his generations, and he walked with God. Kind of like how Adam and Eve walked with God. Mm-hmm. So very different than other people living at that time. And also right before the flood in Genesis 9:1, it says, God blessed Noah and his sons and said to them, be fruitful and multiply and fill the earth. So very connected to this fragment of Noah saying that you will produce, a generation of righteous and holy men that will
fountain.
Yeah, without number forever. Which is also similar to what God said to Abraham, more than the stars.
Yeah.
Will be your descendants.
How many people do you think have ever lived?
Oh, we could look it up. It would probably be a very broad range.
I mean,
how many do you think?
It's got to be a trillion. Right?
I don't think so.
500 billion?
Let's see. Approximately 117 to 125 billion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that's from an evolutionary standpoint, right?
That's just humans.
Oh, okay. So from biblical times to now. Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. So how many 100 to?
in between 105 to 125 billion.
Wow. And there's 8 billion on the earth right now. Right?
There are 8.2.
8.2 billion on the earth.
So in the last 75 years, we went from 2.5 billion to 8.2.
That's so crazy.
So like almost quadrupled.
That's insane.
In
But then it
just
stopped
75
growing.
years. Yeah, I
this year.
think the population is kind of going down.
Yeah. Wow. Okay, so the 105 billion you said?
120. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, that's insane.
Yeah. What made you ask that?
Oh, I was just wondering because it says a fountain of the righteous and the holy without number forever.
Yeah.
It's like, well, there's a number.
Yeah, but
For sure.
it'd be hard to count.
Definitely will be hard.
Yep.
Okay, moving on. Sorry, chapter 66.
Cool.
So, did you have anything else?
No, that's it.
Okay. So, in this chapter, Noah describes how he is shown, quote, the angels of punishment who are prepared to come and let loose all the powers of the waters which are beneath in the earth in order to bring judgment and destruction on all who abide and dwell on the earth, which is crazy because some people theorize that it was just rain that came in on the earth over months or days, depending on who you talk to. But this is talking about like water being beneath the earth, coming up, flooding the whole world.
Right, because there's a verse in Genesis that talks about the fountains of the deep breaking.
Yeah.
So kind of this idea of water coming up also. But I find it interesting that Enoch, or rather Noah, is shown the angels of punishment who were prepared to let loose these waters. So kind of like they're holding them back, which ties into earlier in the book of parables, which talked about how God created chambers for the rain or the hail, and like different angels or powers were responsible through God's authority to let them loose. And there's a couple of chapters in the book of Psalms that talk about, and also the book of Job, like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, about God creating chambers of water. Pretty much he's the one who like holds back the weather and looses it, showing like his ultimate authority. But I find it interesting that verse 2 here, it says, the Lord gave the commandment to the angels to not release the waters yet.
Yeah.
So kind of this bit of contending along with mankind that we see in Genesis 6.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. It goes on to say the Lord gave commandment to the angels who were going forth that they should not cause the waters to rise up, should hold them in check. It's interesting, like you're saying, because if God has so many angels do stuff for him, like he pours out wrath. Angels pour out wrath in Revelation.
Yes.
It's like, why isn't God doing it himself? In a way, they are his hand.
Right. He's the one commanding
He's
them.
the one commanding them, but he still uses them, you know?
Yeah.
So it's very interesting. Even in the extra biblical books, it's consistent that God uses his angels to complete his plan. He doesn't go forth himself.
Right. And we see it more also even in the Bible in more apocalyptic type literature. So like the book of Daniel has a lot of mentions of angels. And obviously in the book of Revelation, like you mentioned, I was reading through it the other day and noticed, kind of reminded me because I just studied this. They talk about these angels who are prepared for this purpose to release these waters. And it talks about in the book of Revelation, there's 4 angels that are like being kept and waiting at the river Euphrates that are going to be released. So kind of like that God has these, if we take it as fully realistic rather than like a spiritual reality. I don't know, how do you explain this? Like it's actually going to happen. Not symbolic.
Yeah, not symbolic.
That there are, the book of Revelation, it's all about these angels that are specifically prepared to bring forth certain judgments, and we're kind of seeing a little taste of that here in this chapter.
Maybe it's more of a delegation thing. You know, if you're the boss, you're not going to clean the bathrooms.
Right. You could,
but you're doing more important stuff. I don't know.
You get into
Do you
a
think
real
all
deep
angels
theological-
are men?
No, I think they're gender. Well, never mind.
Because they came down and slept with women.
Yes.
And you don't hear any female angels.
Right.
Unless Gabriel is a girl. We just always thought that he was a guy.
Interesting. Yeah, because there's Gabriel, Michael, which could be a girl name. Like David's one of his wives in the Bible was Michael. And then the only other angel with the name in the Bible is Apollyon or Abaddon in the book of Revelation.
But the angels came down and slept with the sons of man or the daughters of man.
Yes.
So,
I get what you're saying. I was just thinking of the names.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to just play devil's advocate, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, just never
Dude
considered
angels.
it. Just a bunch of bros hanging out in heaven.
Yeah. I mean,
waiting
and
to pour some
Satan,
bowls of judgment out.
you know, what we think of Satan or the devil, you know, Jesus says, I think it's in the book of Mark or Matthew, and I saw Satan fall like lightning.
Yeah.
And many people tie that into the fallen watchers, the fallen angels. And Satan's definitely described in very masculine language.
Yeah.
Like he's a dude.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
Yeah. I don't understand why give somebody genitalia if they're not going to use it.
That's not where I thought you were going with this. But
No, I mean, why? There's just a bunch of angels up there, a bunch of dudes who are just never going to reproduce, and yet they are anatomically dudes. You know what I'm talking about? But in heaven,
maybe it's a free will thing.
we choose to not.
Yeah. Or they have the option too. Like they're not just always like
They definitely have free will.
Yeah.
They definitely have free will, but and Adam was male, and then God created female, and so maybe that's the first time he was like,
Or was he male?
"That's true."
He was just a human.
Well, I'm gonna go with he's
you look at
male.
the
If there's
language.
male angels, I'm gonna go with him being male.
Okay.
To start. Mm-hmm. So humans would have been the first with a female.
Maybe.
First creations with a female, which would be insane. I wonder how many rounds of like beings God created before he got to humans. Because there's angels.
You mean like angels, like living creatures?
There's living creatures.
Seraphim, cherubim.
Yeah, but did he create worlds
I
where
don't
there
think
was
so.
just angels on it?
I don't think so. But I mean, we can't argue against it because there's no, it just would be
It's okay
hypothesis.
to not think so.
Yeah,
It's okay
but
to
I
not
don't
think so. Yeah. I think he created, I think angels were probably, he wasn't testing anything because he's perfect and he knows all. But I think angels are probably one of his first big races that he created.
Yeah.
The other ones are kind of like more niche beings.
Like cherubim and seraphim, which some people would consider, because angel just means messenger. So maybe just sometimes people think they're all, they're
Does it
all
mean
angels.
Wow. I didn't know that.
I mean, it depends on how you define it. So don't come at me. Yeah. And then there's the wheel within wheel thing, and then principalities, powers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's interesting. I think of most things demonic as masculine. Mm-hmm. Probably just because of how, Satan and demons are portrayed. You don't normally see it. But obviously we got a lot of witches out there. When I think of like people who do witchcraft in nowadays, I think of women.
Yeah.
So it's maybe a presentation of what we see in media. Angels are mostly in like medieval art, or if you go to like, museums, shown as masculine.
Yeah.
Sometimes some female ones, or just kind of these like cheruby blob babies.
Yeah. But not necessarily female cherubim blob babies, mostly male.
Like when it talks about in this chapter, the angels of punishment, I'm not thinking of those being ladies.
No, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I think women could be angels.
All right. I'm glad you said it.
We'd be bad drivers up there, but
Yeah.
just kidding. Okay. Anyways, that is all I have.
So the last verse of that chapter is Noah saying, "Then I went away from the presence of Enoch." Mm-hmm. So he called out to Enoch, and Enoch came and told him everything that God told Noah in the Bible.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be nice if that's how all of our prayers were answered?
If we
It's
could
like
talk.
God comes and fully has a conversation, and then you get your
I always
answer.
wondered
and then
what
leaves.
that looked like, because it talks about in the Bible, like no man has seen God,
Yeah.
but then like Moses saw like
The back of
the
God.
back of God.
God's booty.
You can't say
I'm
that.
sorry.
I love it.
He
though.
likes it. I think God laughs at that stuff. I'm sorry if that's disrespectful, Lord, but I think you had a giggle at it, and I'm going to leave it in.
I love it. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, but it's like it talks about, because I just read through the book of Genesis the other day, or listened to it, and it was fascinating to me the amount of times God spoke very clearly to people, like Gideon. And God's like, do this. He's like, well, God, how about I do this? And God's like, okay. And he's like, God, how about this again? And then God's like, da 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 da. Like, I wish I could. It seems to me like it's an external, audible voice, very clear, talking to them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And maybe it was because it was more necessary back then.
Right.
Like
they didn't have the Holy Spirit.
Babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we also didn't know like how to make food or anything like that. Or God was just kind of like, hey, they're going to die out. We were the first endangered species, I think. By his doing it a couple times.
I love that.
And
I
he
think
had
the
to speak
Nephilim were
clearly.
the true first endangered species.
The Nephilim?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah.
Well, unless they're still around spiritually and physically.
I think that I could be there.
Yeah.
Creeping around.
I think so.
Yeah. Have you seen Andre the Giant?
Have you seen?
That was not natural.
Have you seen the guy from like Iceland who's like 9 feet tall and played in Game of Thrones? I don't know.
Does he have reddish hair?
I don't know. But
apparently Nephilim have red hair. So
he
keep your
lifted
eyes
1,000 pounds.
Oh wow!
He was the second man ever to lift 1,000. I think it might have been 1,200 pounds.
That's
he
crazy.
broke the record from the strongest man on earth. But yeah, I think he's part Nephilim. I could get behind that
Him and Andre the Giant.
He could put his hand around my whole head and crush it, and I have a giant head, and so I know it would take a Nephilim to bust this melon.
I love it. Cool. Well, that is our next steps through the Book of Enoch. We'll continue. I think we'll have 2 more times before we finish the Book of Parables.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thanks for sticking with us. I hope you all enjoy this. We enjoy it.
Statistically, this is the only thing they enjoy about our podcast.
Yes. It gets the most views.
Gets the most views, and I don't know why.
At least on YouTube.
Yeah. But thanks for joining us. Lastly, on this podcast, we like to recommend something to our lovely stuffies out there. Christina. What's something you would recommend to the stuffies out there? Go for it.
Okay. I'm not sure. I should write down my recommends because I think I might have we've done 60, 70 recommend to this point.
Yeah.
But if one does not own an air fryer, have I talked about air fryers? No. I would recommend getting an air fryer.
Great. Recommend.
They're amazing. You can get them for not too crazy of a price.
No, it's pretty cheap.
The one we have isn't just like, some have like these kind of bowl type things you put in them. Ours have actual like 3 racks.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like a mini oven. It heats up the house far less. It gets your food super crispy with a lot less oil. So you almost have this fried food effect without deep frying stuff. It heats up within like 2 minutes as compared to an oven. And yeah, I love making like crispy potatoes and tofu and chicken wings even in it. It's great. So get an air fryer. Black Friday is this week. Try score yourself some good deals.
Yeah. That's a really good recommend.
Thank you. And also crispy tofu in an air fryer is delicious. You have to admit.
Oh, it's so good.
Yes.
Yeah.
So people might hear tofu and be like, ooh, but this?
No,
I mean, come
really
over
good.
and I will make it for you.
Yeah.
I will make anybody crispy tofu. I will convert them. I might make some right after we finish recording.
Oh, that'd be really good tonight, actually.
I'm really hungry.
We're starving. That's a good recommend.
Thank you.
My recommend is to don't be afraid. And I heard this on a podcast, but
It's also what angels say whenever they show up. Which means they're scary.
And men, which means they're
scary men. Yeah, nobody's going to be scared of a lady angel.
Ooh, don't be afraid of me. Never was, babe. Don't be afraid to redecorate your house.
Yeah.
I know it takes a lot of work to decorate a room like you like it. And then years later, you kind of get tired of it, but you leave it and it just kind of falls to the back of your mind. You're like, I'll eventually get around to changing that up and making this room look the way I want it to look. But we're actually taking some steps to change parts of our house these days. And it is pretty rewarding to see it come together.
Yeah.
There are lots of mistakes to be made along the way, lots of late nights and early mornings and trying to make things work and paint.
God?
Yeah, and lots of why gods happening. But it really is worth it in the end. And so don't be afraid to rearrange your room if you're not feeling it anymore, or buy a new piece of furniture or get rid of an old one. You know what I'm talking about? So switch it up.
Love it.
Yeah.
Cool.
Lastly, on this podcast, we like to recommend a few things. Actually,
we just
we
did
like
that.
to plug a few things.
Okay.
Christina, what are we plugging today?
We are plugging, I have a Instagram account, which you like me to mention, of which I post on twice a year. And it is See Joyfully.
They're good posts.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
And you have a Instagram account called Caleb C Media.
Correct.
Because you write songs and you do scores and you do video and photography and all those needs. So if you need any of those done, you can contact Caleb at Caleb
C Media
at gmail.com.
Actually, that's Caleb M. Castaneda.
That's where I was going, but then you fixed it.
Sorry, I thought you were doing the Instagram handle. You got it right.
Caleb M. Castaneda.
Yeah.
M stands for magnificent at gmail.com. And yeah, follow him. Follow Moodwave Media, which is Caleb's company.
Yeah.
Where he provides social media content for churches and nonprofits in the Kansas City area. So you can reach out to him at moodwavemedia@gmail.com.
Yeah, we are a marketing company. We have pivoted pretty hard from what we started doing, which was just recap videos for churches and nonprofits, but we do all marketing. So if you need any help with your social media, getting word out on a website, whatever you need, hit us up at moodwavemedia@gmail.com. We love to help churches and Christian nonprofits and Christian businesses.
Yep.
So hit us up.
Yep.
We will help you. We have a podcast coming out pretty soon with our good friend Chandler Ramos, local creative, or used to be local creative. He moved to Ray recently, which is super sad. But he is an amazing person, and we can't wait to show you what he did while he was in Kansas City.
Yeah.
So just give you a little taste of that. What's coming next for Moodwave too. So
Sounds good.
yeah.
All right. Well, this has been stuff that we like / enjoy, at least at this point in time. And we'll see you next week. Bye.